Hello guys, as we all know that in the upcoming movies of MCU, Kang is going to play a big role, but we know very little about Kang. So in today's video, I am going to explain the history of Kang and his power in a simple manner. Our Kang the Conqueror has had various incarnations over the years, and each identity has its own, ever-expanding history. So to not get all of you confused, I am going to explain his history in a timeline pattern. So stay focused to not miss anything. In addition, there are many alternate versions of Kang in existence. For the sake of clarity, it is commonly accepted that each alternate Kang that has interacted with Earth-616 is a direct divergence from the prime Kang of Earth-6311. While differentiating between each of these divergent Kangs is difficult, so I will only explain the history of main Kang from Earth-6311. Kang's real name is Nathaniel Richards. He was born in the 30th century of Earth-6311, a reality where humanity never went into the Dark Ages. After centuries of advancement and warfare, peace was brought to the land by a time traveler from Earth-616 named Nathaniel Richards. And just to let you know, this version of Nathaniel doesn't become Kang in future. That's why Earth-616 don't have a Kang in the future. The Kang born to this reality is said to be a descendant of the benefactor through Reed Richards, although other records also indicate that he may also be a descendant of the Latvian monarch known as Dr. Doom. At the age of 16, Richards was bullied for years, but one day when he was being beat up by a bully named Morgan, at that moment, the fight was interrupted by Kang the Conqueror, Nathaniel's future self. Kang had stepped in at this very moment to prevent Morgan from cutting Nathaniel's throat, an injury that nearly killed him and almost bankrupted his parents trying to treat. Kang then outfitted his younger self in neurokinetic armor and showed Kang glimpses of his future, where he was destined to become a time-traveling conqueror, and his destiny to do battle with the heroic Avengers. Kang had hoped that his past self would begin on his destined path earlier than planned. However, the young Richards was horrified by what he was destined to become and attacked his future self. Richards decided to renounce his destiny and use the time-traveling capabilities in his armor to travel back in time and across dimensions to the modern age of Earth-616. There he tried to contact Avengers for help, but the Avengers were disbanded at that time due to an internal fight because of Scarlet Witch. But he coincidentally started a hidden program of Vision and ended up forming a new team called Young Avengers, including Patriot, Hulkling, Asgardian, Vision, Kate Bishop and Cassie Lang. He also became a hero named Iron Lad. He ended up falling in love with Cassie, but his future self arrive and a big fight start. At the end, due to some events, Iron Lad realized that he can't run away from his faith and decide to return to his universe to accept his destiny. But he rather start researching on time and how to travel in time without making changes in timelines. After some time, he again come back to Prime Universe due to an event involving his alternate selves. But when the fight ends as a result of Cassie Lang dying, he becomes very sad. He tries to take her body to the future to find some ways to revive her, but Avengers and other heroes object. Iron Lad was filled with grief over the death of his would-be love and returned to the time stream. Eventually he decided to become a villain and began researching his own destiny. Deciding to trump his future selves, Nathaniel adopted the identity of Kid Immortus. Kid Immortus was approached by young Ravonna, who revealed to him that in one possible future, Kang formed an alliance with Dr. Doom and Annihilus and merged together into one being dubbed Doom the Annihilating Conqueror. He tries to merge himself with Annihilus and Doom, but is defeated by the heroes. He then returned to Earth-6311. His memories of being Iron Lad and Kid Immortus are erased as he begun to continue his daily life. However, at this time there is no conclusive explanation, and the events leading to his erase of memories are As an adult, Nathaniel grew bored of the peaceful world he lived in and soon became infatuated with the heroic age of Earth-616, taking particular interest in that reality's premier heroes, the Fantastic Four. He then built a time machine and traveled back to ancient Egypt. Using an army of robots and weapons from his time ship, Nathaniel Richards easily took over the kingdom of Egypt, renaming himself Rama Tut. Rama had the people of Egypt come to worship him and build massive statues in his honor and reject the old gods. Unknown to Rama Tut at the time, this angered the Egyptian vengeance god Khonshu. Yep, that Khonshu from Moon Knight. Later, he was defeated by the Fantastic Four and forced to return to his native timeline. As Rama Tut attempted to flee back to his native 30th century, his vessel was caught in a time storm, and he was forced to veer into the modern era of Earth-616. Appearing just outside of the orbit of planet Jupiter, he found his possible ancestor Dr. Doom floating in space following one of his defeats at the hands of the Fantastic Four. Impressed by meeting his possible ancestor, Rama Tut suggested that the two could be the same man from different eras before helping Doom return to Earth. Inspired by Doom, Rama decided to become a villain himself, but he get defeated badly by Avengers. So Nathaniel Richards deemed his foray as the Scarlet Centurion to be a complete failure and tried to return into his native century. But again, due to a time storm, he ended up in 40th century. There Kang found a war-torn future where barbarians battled with technology from past eras, of which they had no knowledge of how they worked. Seeing his own personal knowledge on how these weapons operated, Rama Tut found it simple to reinvent himself and conquer this era. Creating the identity of Kang the Conqueror, Richards began to do just that. First Kang conquered the Earth, then began conquering the galaxy, taking over entire empires, including that of the Badoon. But even this was not enough, and Nathaniel's mind continued to turn back to the modern age of heroes and sought to conquer it as well. So this the history of Kang the Conqueror with his every incarnation over the time. So let's talk about his powers. Kang is a human from the 31st century with no innate superpowers. Kang is over 70 years old chronologically, but the people of his era have improved biology to the point that they seem to age much slower than 21st century man. Thus he appears to be a man in his mid-40s. Kang temporarily gained nigh omnipotence by absorbing energy from a celestial Exeter. However, he only managed to absorb a small portion before being interrupted by Havoc and Sunfire, who also absorbed energy from the same celestial. The energy got dispersed, and Kang was defeated. According to Immortus, had Kang succeeded, he would have dominated all life, and due to this event he also gained small amount of superhuman strength and speed. But his real power come from his intellect. Though it is hard to gauge Kang's intellect given his futuristic origins, his genius is nothing short of superhuman by modern standards. He commands technology beyond the most sophisticated designs of Stark Industries and Dr. Doom, and has made breakthroughs in time travel and in robotics. Kang is the only known time traveler, other than his counterpart Immortus, who possess the ability to travel through time without creating divergences. In fact, Kang has the combined knowledge and experience of his counterparts from across the multiverse. Furthermore, while employing the vast resources of his empire, and when using his time ship to penetrate the trans-dimensional realm of Limbo, from which all future eras are accessible, Kang theoretically has access to technology from any century, and presumably from alien worlds as well. Hence, in combination with the multiple resources available to him, Kang showed to have in his possession rare artifacts, such as the last cosmic cube, demonstrating expertise to effortlessly manipulate it. It may also include artifacts such as the Forever Crystal, which is capable to erase whole realities from existence. Kang is also a brilliant military tactician and a peerless general. Using his considerable charisma, Kang was able to raise an army and conquer his first world within mere weeks of building his armor. Kang has conquered everything within 100 light years from Other Earth, totaling 1,000 worlds, which include the counterpart Badoon and Shire empires of his reality, extending to several other dimensions. Though he considers it a chore, Kang is also a capable statesman. Kang is portrayed as commonly underestimating the amazing power provided by a cosmic cube, suggesting that he prefers to conquer worlds via more conventional and less exceptional means. Kang is a master of both armed and unarmed combat. He has managed to go toe-to-toe with Captain America and single-handedly held back Immortus's time-tossed army for several minutes during the Destiny War. Kang's willpower is very strong. Through sheer force of will, Kang managed to separate himself from his future counterpart Immortus to make himself a distinct entity. If we talk about his equipment, so as I said before, he have the access of almost all the weapons from other centuries. Kang's battle armor is produced from a rare synthetic alloy from the 40th century. It is neurokinetic, meaning it responds to his subconscious thoughts. Though Kang has no powers, his armor endows him with rough equivalents of superhuman abilities, gives Kang the strength to lift 5 tons. The armor has a built-in force field that extends from 2 feet away from his body outward to 20 feet in all directions. It can withstand even a nuclear strike at point-blank range. Kang has a device in the gauntlets of his armor that allows him to render objects weighing up to 2.2 tons weightless. He also have video communicator and recorder in his armor. He can travel back and forth in time using his armor. Kang can fire concussive blasts from the fingertips of his gauntlets. These blasts have the force of several tons of dynamite. He can also summon any kind of weapon from his weaponry. He can teleport using the armor, and can also manipulate electricity to a certain level. He can also manipulate time and space of a certain area. He can also manipulate matter and energy to a great extent using his tech. He typically carries various weapons, such as an antimatter defense screen generator, a vibration ray projector, an electromagnetic field amplifier, neutrino ray warhead missile launcher, handgun size, electrical paralysis generator, nerve gas sprayer, and a molecular expander. He commands a vast array of warriors from across all periods of time, including his own future era. Armed with advanced weaponry, he used numerous robots, most notably his growing man stimuloids, packed with the growth pollen of the world cosmos, which causes them to grow in size and strength by absorbing kinetic energy. This growth pollen uses the same energy accessed via the size-changing Pym particles discovered by Dr. Hank Pym. Using this equipment, he can manipulate his size and also do various abilities. If you want to know some of his feats, so let me tell you, Kang keeps a trophy room at the edge of space-time, which contain paraphernalia from various heroes and villains, such as Captain America's shield, Thor's hammer, Magneto's helmet, Ghost Rider's jacket, Doctor Strange's Eye of Agamotto, etc. So that's all for today's video. Hope you liked it. I will see you in the next one. Till then.